Good evening, everyone. Looks like we are live. How is everybody doing today? I hope you've all had a great start to your week. I know I have. Looking forward to getting into some cool YouTube training here. So if someone can just let me know in the chat that you can see and hear me, that would be greatly appreciated. And we'll get going. We'll give it a minute or so for others late comers just to jump on. And if anyone has any questions as we're going through, please feel free to ask. Just type them in the chat, and at the end I will go through and answer everyone's queries. So thank you, Tom. Thank you very much. Right. So just give it a few more seconds, and we'll get into it. So as I say, hopefully everyone's had a good start to the week. Hey, Robert, good to see you. Thanks for coming along. Yeah, YouTube is a great social media platform, and everyone really should be using it. We'll go through all the reasons why as we go through the presentation, but it's something, if you're not doing, then you really want to consider it as an option or as part of your strategy for generating leads for whatever business that you've got. It doesn't matter if it's a brick and mortar type business. It really is a very powerful medium, and there's a lot of the promotion that I've been doing this week. I've been saying, if you want to clone yourself, then YouTube video is the way to go. YouTube itself is fast becoming, and if not, it's on the verge of taking over Google itself as being the #1 search engine on the internet. So that says something, right there. Even though that Google owns YouTube, YouTube itself is becoming far more popular as time goes on, because yourself, if you're wanting to find out anything, if you can literally go and find a video that shows you step by step how to do whatever issue you have, then it's a whole lot easier than reading about it. And that's what people are finding, and that's why YouTube is growing. So that should be enough. If people are late, that's their problem. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to get started with the presentation. So just bear with me and we will get going. Righty-ho. Now you should be basically seeing the title of the presentation there. I think I finally got the hang of this. I've done a few tests today, and I believe we should be cooking with gas. So let's get into it. So basically, just want to start off by introducing myself. So who is Clive Jeffrey? Well, basically, my name is Clive Jeffrey. I am from New Zealand originally. I've been living in Florida for the past almost coming up 2 years now. Absolutely love it. I moved here with my family, my wife and 2 teenage children. My wife is originally from America. I met her over here back in 1984 when I was backpacking around the world, and took her home to New Zealand as a souvenir. And we used to come back quite regularly, almost yearly, to visit her parents and bring the kids for show and tell. And I think it was 2012, our kids said that they were interested or wanted to come and finish their high school over here. And at the time, I was still running my printing and graphic design business, which I started back in 1990 along with my wife. And it had gotten to the point that I was absolutely sick of it. And even though it was my business, it felt like a real chore getting up in the morning and going into work, into the office. So when the kids said that they were interested in coming over, I thought, what the hell, you only live once. So we sold up everything within 6 months, and here we are, and loving it and not looking back. So I had a very successful career in the corporate world, doing with my printing and graphic design business, dealing mostly with advertising agencies and blue chip accounts in the sales and marketing type role. So I was helping them with their marketing and print promotions. So I've always had a sales and marketing bias. And since I've been over in the States, I've taken those skills and moved into the online home business arena. So that's how I got into online marketing. And so what my intentions here are to basically share everything that I learn along the way with anyone that's interested in learning how to take their business online, or any products they want to sell online. I'm sharing everything that I'm learning along the way, and everyone's welcome to join. So that's basically me in a nutshell. I've got a lot of value to offer, with all that sales and marketing experience, and it's just really transferring the skills across. And at the end of the day, regardless of what you're doing, if it's online or offline, you're dealing with people. So it all comes down to your people skills. And so if you are good with people, then you're going to succeed no matter what the type of business you are in. And I think that's a big mistake a lot of people make when they're looking at generating leads online. They forget that that lead is actually a person on the other end of that. And until you actually build a relationship with that person and they come to know, like, and trust you, no matter how you're generating those leads, and you're just not going to convert that lead into a paying sale, paying customer. So that's where video comes into its own, really, because people can actually see you, hear you, and they can start to get to know you. But again, we'll cover all this as we go through. So moving right along. So why video marketing? There are two main purposes of video marketing, and they are to brand yourself and to provide value to your target market. So we'll look at each of these in turn. Branding is really important when you're online. You really want to be able to stand out from all the noise out there, and video certainly helps you do that. You're able to show your lifestyle and your personality. So you can do couple of types of videos, but again, we'll get into that as we go through. But this way, by producing videos, people, as I say, they get to know, like, and trust you because they see you, and they can hear what you sound like, and they really get to appreciate that you are also a real person. And that's what gives them comfort, because a lot of people, especially if they're starting out online, they have a very high distrust factor, and they really don't want, or they feel like they're very wary of being ripped off. And by putting yourself out there on video, you certainly break down those barriers. At the end of the day, people join people and not businesses. Regardless of your opportunity, they want to join someone that they know is going to be around for the long haul, has integrity, and that they can trust and want to start building and working with. And video is an essential part of this because it really sets you apart from the competition, because there's only one of you. You are unique, and regardless of what other advertising is going on out there, nobody can replicate you. So then that's where the power of video comes. You can make multiple videos and literally clone yourself, and that's what leverage is all about. And I don't believe there's a tool that allows you to leverage as much as video does. So it's critical, really, that we get over the fear of being behind the camera, or in front of the camera, shall I say. You really just have to realize that if you want to make inroads in marketing and with the use of video, you're just going to have to face that fear and just get over it. And I think a very important thing to remember is that you want to repel the people that aren't interested in working with you, and video is a good way of doing that. And the people that you do attract are going to be very easy to work with you, because whatever it is that's special about you, it will attract them, and they will gladly follow you. So the thing we all do, and I was guilty of it myself when I first started out, we all tend to worry about the people that, if there's going to get any negative comments on your videos or anything like that. But at the end of the day, those aren't our audience. We just shouldn't care about that. And I love a saying that says that what other people think of me is none of my business. And that once I got that into my head, I was really able to move forward leaps and bounds. So big thing there. I know it's a lot of people, it's up there with public speaking, with the fear of getting behind the camera. And as I say, you've really got to get over that and just don't care about what other people think. It's what they think of us is none of our business. I love that saying. So the next part of video marketing is to provide value. So you can do the branding side of things, as we just discussed, and then go and look at providing value. And at the end of the day, that's what our audience is after. They subconsciously taking note of our branding and of being aware of it if we do it often enough and consistently enough. But at the end of the day, we want to provide substance for them to get value out of that they can use and make headway in their own business, or whatever value you're trying to provide, whatever your niche market is. So that's really, why it's so important to provide value, because that's going to grow your audience and your following. If you specifically targeting your videos to provide value to a certain niche, that's who you're going to attract, and that's what it's all about. And you might feel that you don't know everything right now, you feel that you can't possibly go out and make videos, but all you need to do is worry about making a video for the person who's one day behind you. So if you've learned something today, there's going to be a bunch of people out there that haven't learned it yet. We always seem to think that because we know it, that everyone else knows it. We sell ourselves short. So don't worry about that. There's plenty. We're looking for the people to follow us that are just starting out, and there's far more people that are just starting out than those that are experienced. And like for example, this webinar that we're doing here is YouTube marketing for beginners. Now, there's very experienced video marketers out there, but they're not going to be interested in it, and they won't be on this webinar because it's just not for them. It's not targeted to them. So when you understand that, then it sort of makes it easier to have the confidence to go out there and teach, because those experts aren't going to be around to judge you, and the people that are there are going to be grateful because they didn't know what you're teaching. So this gets back to the point ILT, which is one of my mentors, Ray Higdon's famous line, invest in teach. So basically you invest in yourself by like reading a book, investing in a course, then you learn what the information that you've got there in your book or your course, and then you apply it and then teach it. And by doing this, you're never going to run out of information to share with your audience. So the idea behind producing your content is to strive for a thank you. If you can get a thank you, then you've done your job. Because it comes back to, if any of you were on my previous trainings where we went through the 5 processes of attraction marketing, or the attraction marketing form, the whole thing we're talking about is providing enough free value that we get our audience to think, wow, if I get all this information for free, if there's a product for sale, it's going to have to be amazing, because if I'm getting this for free, the paid stuff must be absolutely amazing. So it just makes sense. So coming back to choosing your topics, and I covered this a little bit, is by watching different training material yourself and learning something. Take notes. Another thing Ray Higdon says. Now, by the way, if you haven't heard of Ray Higdon, go and look him up. You'll find him. He's all over the place on the net, but great value he shares. But he says your notes from going to seminars, watching training webinars, or reading a book are uncashed checks. So literally go through. If you've got a notebook on your desk, there's probably countless material videos you've got sitting there already that you could go and make videos about. Now, MLSP wake-up calls. Now, I'm talking obviously for the home business niche. This is a platform that I use to basically run my whole business. It has everything from a tool to create all my capture pages. It has a CRM, which is a client relationship management tool, and it has all the training from all the different social media platforms to learn how to drive traffic to that. And I'll give you some information at the end if you want to go check that out. But it's a great. They have a daily wake-up call, which is pure value. And if you just made a video on that each morning for the home business niche, you would find that you have amazing value to share. And again, we already covered this. Webinars and training videos, just put everything, learn something there and put it into your own words, because it's quite funny. And it was a concept that took me a while to understand. I used to think when I first started, and it's like, well, if the information is already out there, why is anyone going to listen to me? But the funny thing is, and the longer you're in the industry, you realize that I'm attracted to certain trainers. There can be 2 people putting on exactly the same training, but there's going to be one person that I am drawn to and find that they're easier to follow and learn from. And that's just how it works. Your people as they say, will find you if you're out there sharing your information. So if you're consistently doing that, then you are going to find that your followers are going to grow. Yeah, books that we're reading, leaders blog posts. So that's another good one. You know, if you subscribe to different leaders in your niche, and you see what they're doing, and this is not you're not going there blatantly copying them. I say you learn what they're teaching, and then put it into your own words, and that's a very legitimate way to do it. Because at the end of the day, no matter if you're at Harvard, someone else has written that textbook that you're learning from, and then you're putting it into your own words. It's absolutely no different. Leaders' emails, that's another good one. If you want to see what they're up to, subscribe to different leaders' email lists, and that way you'll see exactly what they're up to, how they're presenting the information, and it's a good way to learn and adapt to the style that suits yourself. So now we're going to look at, we've looked at the reasons why. Now let's look at how to get more views and engagement on your videos, because at the end of the day, if you're making stuff that's not being seen, then you might as well not be doing it, and you might as well be at the beach. The big thing is keyword research. Now, I've found with my own experience that the better keyword research that I do, the easier it is to rank videos. And what I mean by rank is that for a keyword is a term that people are actually searching for. As we discussed in the beginning, if you wanted to look up how to do something on YouTube, you'd type it into the search bar, and that essentially is a long tail keyword if it's a phrase. And you'll be surprised at how many times different people type in the exact same keyword, and there are tools that we can use that allow us to find that information. So what you want to do is, if you have a topic for a video, like you've done some training or read a book and there's certain information that you want to share, then you want to go and then find a keyword that relates to that topic and supports it so that it's going to be found. A good free tool to use is the Google Keyword Planner, and all you need is a Google email address, and you can get a free account. You can just log into Google and search for Keyword Planner, and it'll literally take you through, and you can start searching. What I do is I do my keyword research on a weekly basis, so it just makes me more efficient to batch things. So what I'll do is I'll do some, say on a Sunday evening or on a Monday morning, research the keywords and select some that I want to do for that week, and that way I can efficiently make my videos and get them up there in a manner that I'm not going through every step every day to get my videos out there, because it all comes down to efficiency at the end of the day. Now, I was describing earlier what a long tail keyword, so it's basically a phrase with 3 words or more, and ideally we want to find keywords that have searches between 4,000 individual searches or unique searches per month, and the Google keyword will tell us this information. So just more on keywords. If you find a keyword that you're interested in using, and you actually put speech marks around the keyword when you put it into the search bar on YouTube, this will tell you the number of videos you're competing against with that exact keyword in the title. So that's a very handy tip so you can judge the chances of you being able to rank that video. So what you want to do as a rule of thumb is you want to look for keywords that have by high traffic, I mean over 50 but under 4,000, and low competition. So you want, when you do this in when you search the keyword you're thinking of using in the search bar of YouTube, in the speech marks, as you can see here, then it'll give you an indication of the number of videos that you're going to go up against. And to be honest, I like it to be virtually nil, because then I get my videos to rank nice and easily. And you think that's impossible? There is so many out there. You think of the numbers searching on YouTube every day, you're just never going to saturate it. So example keyword, I used this. I'm going to show you an example of customized thank you cards with one of my businesses that I do. The streams of income is customized greeting cards. So I produced a video around customized thank you cards, and we will show how, by doing what I showed you here, I got this video to rank. This one had actually 480 unique searches every month, so it's a good healthy number of searches, and it had zero competition. There was no other videos on YouTube with that keyword phrase in its title. So when anyone else, with those 480 people search my video, they go straight to it. So it's free traffic. You've got to love it. So do the work once, and that's how this little clone's out there working for me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and it doesn't have sick days or ask for a pay rise. So you've got to love it. So this is showing you how I just searched. This is before I created the video, just to show you like my video is not anywhere to be seen, and we will see the slide as we go through this where it's actually ranking. So I just wanted to show you that, and this is out of 24,000 results. So it's just proving that the system actually works. So understanding your audience, and this is critical because this comes back to your niche. Now, if you're in the pet food industry or real estate industry or the home business niche, you've got to understand what your audience is looking for so that you can provide value to them. So your keywords that you select and the topics that you're talking about must be what your desired audience is searching for. So if you think you've got a great product for dogs, and you start talking about cats, you're not going to attract the right people, and your video, as I say, is just not going to do its job. Now, you've got to help you understand. You've got to be clear in your mind what kind of business model you're looking for. So is it an MLM? Is it an internet marketing type business, or is it just general sales? As we're saying, just a general brick and mortar type business. So really have a clear understanding of the type of people that you're trying to attract. So again, you'll remember back, if you went through the training over the past few weeks, we looked at identifying our ideal target market. Now, if you missed out on those trainings, just hit me up and I'll send them across to you. But we dealt in deeply on how to identify our target market so that we can target them correctly, and this will really help when you're doing your research for your audience and your keywords. Also, have it clear in your mind what you want to be known for. So again, if you want to be known for the dog food man, then keep that in the forefront of your mind. So whatever you do, keep referencing that. And even if you, for example, in the home business niche, like I am, you can break that down too even further, and what do you want to be known for within that niche? There's so many different things like video marketing, or Instagram marketing, or Facebook marketing, or whatever. It's almost endless. So if you have got a clear idea in your mind of what you want to be known for, it's all going to reflect back on not understanding who your audience is. And there's a saying that goes, if you're marketing to everyone, you're really marketing to no one. So all this preparation is going to set you up for success. Again, how do you want to be seen? It's all part and parcel of what you want to be known for, and just a little tip, if your business revolves around team building in any way, shape or form, then the less technical you want your information or training to be, so that it can be duplicatable. Because if you get into really high-tech stuff, it might work very, very well, but if other people can't replicate it easily, then again, it's really not going to do anything for you. So if you're in the home business industry like MLM, you really want to be conscious of the fact that you want something that's going to be easily duplicatable and nice and simple. But if internet marketing, that's again a home-based business, but you obviously there's more technical skills required in that, and it's a completely different niche. So it just goes to show you how critical it is to have a clear picture in your mind as to actually who you are and what you want to do. So as I suggested earlier, our goal should be, when you're starting out, is to serve the beginner audience, because there are literally tens of thousands of people in that position. It's literally like the pyramid. You've got all the beginners at the bottom, and as you higher up the field you go, it gets less and less people, and regardless again of the niche, it's exactly the same way. You only have so many experts in each area, and then as the level of expertise decreases, the number of people in that level will increase accordingly. So definitely strive when you're starting out to serve the beginner audience, because you're going to increase your chances of success. So once you've decided who you're actually going to be after, like for example MLMers, then you want to design your content that's going to help the beginners in this field. So this is basically what we've just been discussing. It's going to be far more people in that area. So you want to keep your videos short and simple and easy, with easy to follow tips for the beginners. There's nothing worse than a video where there's just someone rambling on and on. They might have some great content they're sharing, but if people get frustrated, I think with the advancements in technology, people's attention spans have gotten less and less. So unless their questions are being answered virtually instantly, they're going to move on to the next thing. They're going to keep scrolling. Everyone's got that mobile phone or smartphone scrolling mentality now. It's just flick, 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 flick through the information until something jumps out at them. So really keep that in mind. But you want to, without missing the point of providing value, you don't want to just skim over stuff. You want to really have some substance, usable substance in your videos, because this is not only good for you, obviously for your audience, but YouTube itself takes a good view of this. Because if you just simply rank on a keyword and try and get people off YouTube into another platform, then YouTube's going to take a dim view of that, and you can get your channel shut down. And believe me, I have known people that this has happened to, people with over 20,000 subscribers and millions of views. They just have no emotion. They just shut the channel down because they feel that you're breaking some of their guidelines. So definitely the key is to provide value. And with any kind of keyword research like this, you want to end the search. So if you're using a keyword like customized greeting cards, for example, when the people arrive there, they should have all the information they could possibly want regarding customized greeting cards, so that you end search. So your whole goal with any kind of keyword optimization like that is to end the search for your audience. So that way, again, it builds trust, because they know that if they come across another one of your videos, they're saying, oh, well, he answered my question last time, then he's more than likely going to do it again this time. So just common sense, really. Keep true to what you're trying to be out there. Don't take shortcuts. And if you, as I say, if you're striving to get that thank you from your audience, you should be well on your way to success. So, as they say, providing value is the new SEO. And if you don't know what SEO stands for, it's search engine optimization. So that's basically what I was talking about there, ending the search. So when people type the keyword in, they want to be confident that they are going to have their question answered. So now we want to look at the structure of an actual video itself. Now, there's three key components to a video. Now, first of all, there's the introduction. Then we have the content, which is arguably the most important part of the video, which we were just talking about. And then there's the call to action, because at the end of the day, if we've satisfied the purpose that we're doing this, sure, we want to provide value to our audience, but at the end of the day, we want them to be directed to a different, to a call to action. Otherwise, what's the point of doing it? We want to either take them to some more information, or to another site of ours, or to a sale page or the like. But we'll get into that in more detail. So let's look at the introduction first. Now, first of all, you want to introduce yourself. Like my normal start to a video, if you haven't seen it yet, is, hi there, Clive Jeffrey here from clivejeffrey.com. I'm coming to you today from my home office in St. Augustine, Florida, because I think it's important to know your location. And again, it just brings out the realness, that you are a real person and people can identify, and it leaves any subconscious questions. It doesn't leave any subconscious questions unanswered. So just say your location and ask a question. this is where you can say that, as I say, Clive Jeffrey here from clivejeffrey.com, coming to you today from my home office in St. Augustine, Florida. And today we're going to look at, let's say, YouTube marketing for beginners. So you pose a question or make a statement as to what you're going to be discussing in the video, and that will be your keyword. So, for example, for the one that we did, the customized greeting cards, that would be the question or the statement. So, if we're going back through this little routine. Hi, Clive Jeffrey here from clivejeffrey.com. Today I'm coming to you from my home office in St. Augustine, Florida, and we are going to look at how you can go about creating a customized greeting card. So they know straight away that they're in the right place. That's what they've searched for, and they're in the right place to get their question answered, because otherwise you're going to lose them very quickly. So it's very, very important that you introduce yourself and pose the keyword question right at the outset. And that question this is all part of that. It's either the question is going to be using the keyword, but to touch on that pain point or issue that they've searched for. So, and that's what we're going to solve. So, once you've posed the question, you could either do it, say, for example, are you interested in customized greeting cards? Well, stay tuned. I'm going to share exactly how you can go about it in this video. Just give them something to work with. Again, the big point here is to make them feel at ease that you are a real person and you are going to answer the question that they have searched for. In the content, as I say, this is the most important part, because this is where you want to focus, because this is where the value is provided, the meat and potatoes of the video, if you like. You want to provide the solution or the painkiller for the question posed in your introduction. So again, this is answering the question that they are searching for, and again, the key word. So, and I covered this point earlier, so you remember that we want to provide real value. And value, I mean, you might have heard this term bandied around. I know when I first got started in this online arena, I was like, what do they mean by value, providing value? Essentially, I had a real good explanation for it. And it's basically, value is the painkiller to a question, or providing a painkiller to or solution to a problem. So that's what they mean by providing value. So if someone is searching about trying to find customized greeting cards, the value for them is to learn all about it. So if I answer all the possible questions that I can come up with about how to produce a customized greeting card, then I've provided value, because that's what they were looking for, and I've answered that question for them. So that's a good definition of value. Does what you've produced answer the question that your target market is looking for? And if you can honestly say yes to that, then you've done your job, you've provided value, and by all means you should get your thank you, and your job is done. So then we get to the call to action. Now this again can be, you want to keep it subtle. You don't want to blatantly, again, this is for YouTube purposes, you don't want to have big things dragging people off and away from YouTube, because they look at that in a dim view. You want to have, you can do something in, when you're signing off, you can say thank you very much for watching this video, and if you got value from it, because I'm sure they would have, because you've answered their question, then say come and visit me on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, or you can come and visit me on Facebook, or you can say please come over to my blog, clivejeffrey.com, for example. You can give it just a simple call to action like that. Now, I did hear, and I should have, the way I worded that, I heard something yesterday, and this has helped one of my colleagues really increase their conversions and leads by eliminating that word if. So like where I said, if you got value from this, don't do that. Sorry. Don't say that. You want to have a very firm call to action to say, now that you've watched this video, to get more information, come and visit me on my blog. So there's no, that people will follow the instruction. If you give them the option by saying, if you've got value, they say, oh yeah, I'll probably no. Then their mind is shut off from the rest of your call to action. So it's very simple and subtle, but people, I was actually amazed at the stats I was shown by just changing that one simple call to action has made such a huge difference. And another one I heard that's really good is that now that you've watched this video, call me and tell me what other information you'd like to learn. And my number is, something like that. So very, very direct calls to action are getting some very good results. So even though it's subtle, I mean, it's not plastered all over the video, but it's very, very direct, and there's no ambiguity in there. So as I say, you can, by the call to action, you can get them to come over to get further help. So more answers, if you like, and you can do that. Say, come over to my blog where I provide training like this on a daily basis. And that's what we were saying. Now have a verbal instruction at the end. And if you have an outro, you can put links in that on the outro. Now there's some, I've heard different things about having an outro. If you're not familiar with what an outro is, you can, it's like a little animated clip. Some people have it at the beginning of their videos as well, and then they just maybe have their logo. I might do that first part where they do the introduction, and I'll have a little introductory or intro video that just flashes up their logo, and then it'll go into the content part of the video, and then you do the call to action part of the video and go into the outro, and on that you can have your website links and the like. But what I have heard is that if people cut that off, you know, if they've watched the video, then they don't watch the outro, it basically can count against you on the YouTube algorithms for your rankings, because YouTube, one of the things that they take into consideration is the length of your video that's watched. So if you have, say, there was at one stage a call to have, say, almost a minute long of just having your call to action sitting there, but people often click off that, and then you're left with a minute of unwatched video on the end of your video. You know, most of our videos should only be between 1.5 and 3 minutes long, otherwise you're going to lose your audience. Unless you're providing a whole lot of content, then you can go longer than that, obviously. But it must be, you'll find that the longer your videos, the less people are going to watch them all the way through. So just something to bear in mind. It's good to find a happy medium. So just some points to remember. You know, YouTube is a social media platform, and we should treat it accordingly. And this again goes how YouTube views your whole channel. If you've been using it the way you're supposed to, so actually creating regular videos on a consistent basis and not breaking any of their rules, and you actually go and be social, subscribe to other channels, go and comment and like on them, because that's what you at the end of the day want people to do to your channel. So you'll find that people will reciprocate if you go out there and do it for them first. So that's one thing that a lot of people miss with YouTube. They forget that it is actually a social media platform. So go out and subscribe and like and comment on other videos within your niche, and that way it'll raise curiosity of those people, and people will come over and look at your channel. So it's something that you should do on a regular basis and almost daily. If you can set that as part of your daily routine, if you're serious about using YouTube as a marketing platform, I would encourage you to go and find other channels within your niche and like and comment on them as regularly as you can. Daily is best, and you'll find that your channel will rank a whole lot better. So think long term. You're not in this for the short haul. You're obviously taking, you're doing a business here, and that's why it's worth taking those few minutes a day to live. That's all it takes, is to go, a few minutes going, liking and commenting on a few videos within your niche. And it doesn't sound like much, but it's the compound effect of doing it consistently over time, and it will definitely help you. And just don't forget that the whole purpose of this is to provide value. Obviously, the idea behind it from a business perspective, we're looking to generate leads for our business and grow our business, but we do this by providing value. And this comes back to attraction marketing. By providing value like this, we're going to attract an audience of ideal customers around us, and by default, they're going to want to start doing business with us. So again, think long term and provide value. And be consistent. Now, we've touched on this. It's like anything. Consistency is the key. Any of the real success stories out there post daily, and you'll find that consistency will beat anything else out there, regardless of what the competition is. If you are consistent, you will rank accordingly, and people will be able to find you. And by people being able to find you, the more people being able to find you, the more people you're going to be able to help, and the more people that are going to help. As Ziegler says, if you help people, enough people get what they want, then you'll be able to get anything that you want. And it's very true for social media marketing, regardless of the platform. We just happen to be looking at YouTube today. So there's 4 major components to get your videos to actually rank. Now, as I mentioned from the outset, keyword research is by far the most important one, because if that's what we know what people are actually looking for, then we're providing a solution to that. We're going to have a lot more happier customers or prospects out there, because if you don't do any keyword research and you just make a video on something that you find exciting, shall we say, if people can't find it in the organic searches, like on the YouTube search bar or Google search bar, people aren't going to come across your videos, and they're not going to be able to get your value unless you're sending paid traffic to it. So this was all about doing it this way. It's all free, and having leads coming into your inbox on a daily basis from free videos that you've made once has got to be a good thing. And again, the high quality, high value content is going to help your videos to rank. Because you get, the better your quality and the higher the value of your content, the more likes you're going to get, the more comments you're going to get, and your videos are going to rank accordingly. And there's a thing called on-page optimization, and there's off-page optimization, and we'll look at those each in turn. On-page optimization is basically using the keyword. It's anything that's actually on the actual description part of your video. So if you go into YouTube, you'll see that under each video there's a description where there actually has enough space to have 5,000 characters in there, and the better you and more fully you use all this stuff, the better YouTube likes it, and the higher they're going to rank your video. But you've got to be careful. Their algorithms are smart. They can tell if you're just stuffing the keyword to try and make it look relevant, and that's going to count against you. Don't be spamming. Nobody likes a spammer, and by this I mean there's ways to set up your title, and I'll show you here. The old way, for example, like MLM tips, and then this stroke, and then 3 MLM tips that are proven to work. So that is considered spammy, because it's just literally MLM tips is obviously the keyword that's being gone after, and although it's going to show up as relevant initially, and this is what people used to do because it's mentioned twice within the title, but they've smartened up now. They've changed the algorithms to sort of count against something like that, because it's unnatural. You wouldn't say that in a if you were speaking, you wouldn't talk like that. That's a good way to analyze what you do. The more you can put it in common language, the better off you're going to be. So a new way, a better way of doing it would be something like this. MLM tips that are proven to increase your success. So it's saying exactly the same thing, but it's not stuffed and it's not spammy. It makes sense if you're using that as a standalone sentence, whereas this one really isn't. So as I say, there's in the description area, there's a place to allow you to supply an article which is up to 5,000 characters. And again, I strongly recommend do this, because if you write a good article to back up what the information you're sharing on your video, you're going to have your videos ranked and be looked at much more favorably by YouTube. So, I mean, and this is where again, you really stand out from the rest of your competition out there, because very, very few of other marketers take the time to go and write their article. So straight away, just by doing this, you're going to really set yourself apart from the rest of your competition. So again, within that article, you want to use your keyword that you are going for, but you don't want to overstuff it. Now, you want to look at about 3% max as a percentage of the number of words that you use, and that will be a good ratio to keep in mind. So you don't want to overstuff having the keyword in every second sentence. Timestamps. Now, this is another good one. You can use timestamps basically from at certain points within your video. You can just literally type in the time where in your description of where you're talking about a certain point, and you can identify that in the description, and that carries a lot of weight. So that allows people to click on that timestamp and go straight to that point of the video to get the information. So what YouTube's looking for is basically videos that provide the solution to the search and basically ending the search. A good thing too is to make sure that within the YouTube functions, it does a transcription of the audio of what you're talking about on the video. So it pays to go through that and make sure that it has been transcribed properly and clearly. And I know for me it can be an issue, because sometimes with my accent it doesn't like what it hears, and it can have a whole bunch of weird words show up that just don't make sense, and that'll will count against me. And because the algorithms, as they go through and check it out, they just wouldn't be able to make head or tail of what's going on. So then at the bottom of the description, you'll see there's a place to put in tags, and I've got there, just use a little tip. I always put my own name as as the last tag, and that just keeps it relevant to all my other videos on my channel. But a good way to do this is to, once you've got your keyword, if you put your keyword into Google, into the search function or search bar on Google, and just click search, and then you scroll down to the bottom of the page, Google gives you some other ideas that related keywords to that keyword that you've just put in the search bar. Those are ideal tags to put in your tags for your video, because Google's telling you that it thinks they're relevant. So if you put those in as your tags, then when people search those as well, it's going to bring up your video. So just a great little tip there to help with your video being found. And another little tip is to use the video URL in your description. And by your description, I mean there's that where you can put your 5,000 characters or your article about your video. Just go to the top of the page and copy the URL for that video and put it in the description, because that way, if there are any people that are using scrapers to scrape video content for their own marketing, it's going to bring your video URL, and they're going to, rather than them thinking they're going to be promoting, stealing your stuff to promote, they're going to by default be promoting your video. So just a little trick there. If that's above your head, don't worry about it. It's not super critical. But if you want some clarification, by all means, reach out to me. So after we've done all that, then there's a thing called off-page optimization, and this is basically where you like backlinking, and this is where you basically have links to other high authority sites or content that's going to help make your video appear relevant, because if we've done everything right, it will be relevant. So the search engines will really like that. So if you have a backlinks, say from Wikipedia, for example, that's a high page rank site, and Google and YouTube likes the fact that it's related to the content that you produce. So it looks at that in very favorably. But the thing is that by doing the keyword research right, that you have to worry about backlinks. So this is when you're trying to get your videos to rank for a highly competitive keyword. But I take the other view of it. I'd rather spend a little bit more time searching for keywords that have little or no competition, and that way I don't have to worry about trying to get backlinks and the like to try and make my videos rank. So another way to get backlinks to your videos is just use the share function on YouTube. Now YouTube, if they didn't want you to do this, they wouldn't have that share function there. And if you look below a video and you click on the share function, it'll bring up all the different other sites that you can share it to, like Blogger, Google+, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. It just goes on and on. But by doing that, those sites are all high page rank sites, and they're going to add link juice to your video, so well worth doing. Now, the other way to do that is to share your video URL on different forums and Facebook groups, and groups like the Better Networker. And by sharing, I don't just mean going and spamming them there, putting them up there in places where people are going to want to see the information. So you've got to be very conscious of spamming. So the other thing, if there is a keyword that you really want to rank for, and you find that you need to do some backlinking to get it to rank, you can go to the likes of Fiverr.com, and you can look for gigs called link pyramids, and you will, without getting too technical, if you don't want to worry about learning SEO and link building, and I'm certainly falling in that camp, you can just go to Fiverr and get it done for you, and it'll do the job nicely, and you'll get your videos to rank. And there's other free tools like Ping Farm, which is great. So once you've produced a video, you've done all your on-page optimization, like you've written your article and you've done your timestamps and you've put your tags in, and you've got a few links to some high authority sites, then you can take your video URL and go over to pingfarm.com and ping it, as they say. And that's simply, this is just a free website. What it does is it blasts that URL out there and gets it noticed by the search engine spiders. So it makes them aware immediately that this new content has been posted, and that it'll send the search engine spiders to go over and start, tracking that information and start in the ranking process. So, because if you didn't do that, and it would eventually happen, it would just take time as the spiders crawled all this across YouTube, it would eventually find it. But this is just a way of speeding that up. And that's what we all like. We all after instant gratification. So there, this last slide I just wanted to show you. There's that we jumped up and took within 16 minutes my video, because it says there 16 minutes ago. It's up to #1 on the page, and as I say, only 16 minutes to get there, because I spent the time, got my keyword research right, I did my article, and easy peasy. #1 on the first page of YouTube. You've got to be happy with that. So it might be painstaking to go through and do all that on-page optimization and stuff, and do the keyword research, but by putting in that little bit of extra effort up front, it's going to make it so much easier in the long run, and you're going to just find that it works. It simply works. And yourself, if you're searching for anything on YouTube or even Google, the first one you click on is the #1 site, and very seldom do you go to the second page, and I would say rarely do you go to the third page to even look what's there. So if you're not on that first page, and even be so bold to say in the top 5 of the first page on Google, which is above the fold, which is pretty much what we can see there, if you're not up there, you are not going to stand a chance of, your chances of being found drop drastically. So that's pretty much where we are for a brief introduction into YouTube marketing. Hopefully you can see the power of what you have at your hands if you haven't done any video as yet. It certainly is a very, very powerful tool. It's got so many things going for it. As I say, the #1 thing I like about it is the leverage that it gives, because you literally are cloning yourself. So I would like to just invite everyone to come and connect with me if you haven't already. You can find me on my blog, clivejeffrey.com. You can search for me on any of my social media platforms. If you just search Clive Jeffrey, you will find me. And I would love to, answer any questions and help you in any way that I can. Now, if you're interested in a keyword tool, now I've actually got a tool that automates that keyword search. It basically does all the hard work for you. You can go and do it manually using the Google Keyword Planner, but I have a tool that I can literally just put my, so for example, we're talking about a subject that I wanted to produce a video about, then I'd go and find a keyword tool, a keyword that was, supports that content. I can just type that generic term into my keyword tool, and it'll find the videos, find other keywords that are being searched on YouTube, and it will tell me whether there are any other videos out there. So for example, the one for customized greeting cards, I found that there was literally zero competition for it, and using this tool, it does it in a matter of minutes. Now that's a bit.ly link. It's quite complicated to write down there, so if you can't read it, or just hit me up if you're interested in that and checking it out. I'll tell you, it's a one-off purchase price. It is a tool that you've got to buy, and from memory it was like $97, but it was well worth the investment. I use it regularly, and it's the best one I have. I bought a couple of others since then, and they just aren't worth it, because they although they find the keywords, they don't do the analysis, and it's the analysis which is the time-consuming part. So if you want an automated tool, I'll definitely go check that out, or hit me up and I'll let you know. And this, again, I mentioned MLSP, which is the platform that I use for running my business, and I've got as I say, it has the full platform to build your capture pages on. It has a full CRM, which is a client relationship management tool, plus all the education that goes along with it, building an online business. So if you're interested in checking that out, go to clivejeffrey.com/trial, and that will give you a trial of that whole system, and it's absolutely risk-free. If you do the trial and you find it's not for you, it's $10 to do the trial, and you have 10 days. And if you, at the end of that 10 days, you decide it's not for you, you can get your $10 back. So you've got literally nothing to lose. So if you want to talk to me further about that too, feel free to reach out to me. But that's basically everything I have for you this evening, people. So I will go back now and see if we have any questions at all, and I will happily answer those. We will stop the screen share. And there we are. So thank you once again, everyone, for coming along this evening. Hopefully you have got some value from that, and we know what value means now. We've provided some answers to some questions that you had, and hopefully this will give you a good outline so that you too can now start going out and making some videos. Hopefully you'll get over your fear of the camera, and start cloning yourself and getting yourself out there, and literally start having leads coming in on autopilot for work that you've done once. So it's a very, very powerful tool. So if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but if not, then I'm happy to call this a wrap, and we will convene again next Tuesday, and when we look at Free Tuesday training for next week. So again, during the week, I'll make an announcement as to what we'll create that training on. If someone's got something specific that they want me to go over, by all means let me know. Otherwise, we will. Thank you, Robert. I'm glad you got some value from it. Appreciate that. So if there's no other questions, people, we will call it a night. And as I say, if you have any want anything specifically trained on, let me know during the week. Otherwise, again, I encourage you to come and connect with me, and I look forward to seeing you this time next week on Free Tuesday training. So thanks again, everyone. I really appreciate you all, and I will see you next week.